Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about Northern Graphite, which is a company we talked about during the summer. But it has massively rallied since then. Still think it has even more upside potential now. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, but this is my opinion. Now, why should you even care about this? Like, why is this important? Who cares about graphite? Graphite is like essential for like the negative pole or like the anode of the battery, where it's the single largest component in volume in the lithium-ion battery, and it's like 95% of the anode markets. And obviously, this is one of the most critical minerals for like the West, especially the United States, bearing that Northern Graphite is like basically the only graphite producer in North America. Obviously there's one that started in the state of New York, but it's like tiny compared to this. Why should you care about Northern Graphite? Especially now that it's rallied a little bit. I think it still has some potential in my opinion. Why? Like as an example, they have 3 projects, one in Namibia and 2 in Canada. And one of the projects which is producing is called INFACT A. The thing is that they put it on hold at the end of like 2025 as a part of phase 1, where they would potentially add up to 8 years of mine life extra, or like for it to be able to produce for 8 more years. Things have happened since last time we mentioned this company. The fact that by 3rd of November they had signed a letter of intent with Italy's Alchemia to secure access to clean graphite purification technology that's independent from China, one of the news. And another news is that they have partnered with a German partner for research and development, which they would have like 3 years to produce a cleaner European graphite processing technology, and where they would be funded only about like 2 million euros from the German Federal Ministry. Major news though, Northern Graphite and Obeikan Investment Group has a term sheet for $200 million to build a battery anode material plant in Saudi Arabia, where the investment company would own 51% and Northern Graphite would own 49%, where the debt finance would be sourced from the Saudi government, and they would apparently be producing 25,000 tons per year beginning in 2028, which is only 2 years from now. And obviously they also have some projects in Canada and France planned, but this is the one battery anode material plant that is apparently moving the fastest. Now, why should you care about BAM? BAM is the largest component of the lithium-ion battery, and it's obviously produced either with synthetic graphite or like with northern or natural flake graphite, which is more like Northern Graphite. So now let's go over to the company. Like what is this company? Like obviously it has rallied, but like with the news I mentioned, it seems a little bit safer, the fact that graphite is having an increasing need, and the fact that this is basically the only company in North America that is producing anything of note. Now let's go over to the company. Now what is interesting about this company? Obviously they are projecting, this is from like 2023, but I just read something similar where they're projecting between like 5 and like 19% lithium ion battery growth, like CAGR, between now and like 2030. If things, obviously like with the new batteries from China, the sodium ion batteries, I think, obviously they are like lower end, but obviously they are having like a market share. But the fact that China is a dominant player in the graphite space, and they haven't hesitated to exploit that strength during like the trade talks with the United States, where they were with rare earths and so forth. So then it's crucial for the West to become more mineral independent. So where are these projects that natural or Northern Graphite has? They have one in Canada, the one we just mentioned, INFACT A, which would have a 25,000 ton per year production, been producing for 30 years, and they would apparently add up to 8 years of production life. They have a next project in Namibia, which would produce 31,000 tons per year in its phase 1, but that's currently in care and maintenance. And they have a second project of graphite production, which would be in Canada, called BSET, which would apparently be producing up to 44,000 tons per year in its phase 1, and it's near construction ready. Okanyanda would apparently produce 31,000 tons, but apparently they have a measured and indicated resource of 1,600 thousand tons. So they have basically 1.6 million tons of graphite in measured and indicated in the Namibia, where apparently the Saudi Arabian battery anode material facility would apparently get natural graphite flakes from Namibia sent to Saudi Arabia, which apparently would have a capex $34 million. And the other project, which would be in Canada, in Ontario, which has a 1.2 million tons of graphite in measured and indicated, and would have like a capital cost of $115 million. It's apparently 15 kilometers away from the Trans-Canadian Highway. BAM is more like valuable than the natural flake. But the fact that this company, since last time we talked about this company, they've basically gone from just producing it in a little mine in Canada to now having like a partnership in another country where they would apparently pay most of the the cost for actually producing that facility, and Northern Graphite would apparently be very well rewarded. So that's very, very nice. I'm very happy with it, as someone who mentioned it during the summer. So I hope those people that watched it during the summer, I hope you you kept on to this. If this, obviously this is not financial advice. I like it though, and I think it has had a little correction for no apparent reason. After the news of Saudi Arabia, it really went up and then it went down, no reason. So I think it has some potential.